Hello, so our group will be presenting one of the most pressing social issues that can affecting both developing and developed nations, which is corruption. Corruption refers to the abuse of power for personal gain. It can take in many forms. For example, bribery by accepting or giving money to influence other people's decisions. Next is embezzlement, which is stealing public funds. Other example is nepotism or cronyism, like favoring friends or family. And the last one is extortion and systematic manipulation within institution. There are three types of corruption. The first one is political corruption, which is the leader using their position to gain unfair advantages. The second one is bureaucratic corruption. Bureaucratic corruption refers to bribery or favoritism in everyday government service. And the third one is systemic corruption. Systemic corruption is when corrupt practice become embedded in institution or a society norms. So corruption is not just a legal issue, it's a form of deviance that threatens social control, weakens institutional trust, and reduce public accountability. So in this presentation video, we will examine corruption from various social science perspectives, explore real-life case study, and reflect on solution.
Conflict theory is a sociological perspective that views society as being in a constant state of conflict due to competition for limited resources. From the conflict theory perspective, corruption is a tool used by elites to maintain power and wealth. Those in authority exploit their position for personal gain, leading to greater inequality as only certain groups benefit, while the general public remains marginalized. Structural functionalism is a sociological theory that sees society as a complex system made up of interdependent parts that work together to maintain stability and social order. According to structural functionalism, corruption is a sign of institutional dysfunction. It disrupts the proper functioning of systems like the government and judiciary, undermine trust, and threaten social stability when institutions fail to serve the public fairly. Corruption often stems from power imbalance and weak institutions. Its effects include poverty, public distrust in government, and the erosion of integrity in society, ultimately weakening both social and political systems.
Next, I will talk about how culture shape our understanding about corruption. How culture and social norm influence corruption. Social norm is unwritten rules of acceptable behavior. In some society, helping family member getting jobs seen as moral obligation, but in other society is unfair treatment to others. Cultural relativism is normal in one society but wrong in other society, such as offering gift to public officials seems normal, but it viewed as bribery at another society. Secondly, cross-cultural comparison. How different societies tolerate or resist corruption. In New Zealand, the government has initiated various anti-bribery and anti-money laundering laws and rehabilitated extradition protocol to make policy free from manipulation. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, corruption resists because of lack of firm stance in combating corruption from 7 presidents of Indonesia to the current president. Lastly, traditional system vs modern system. In traditional system, corruption operates to kinship tie and patron-client system because it reflects on loyalty and obligation by giving job offer and resources to family members. In modern system, governed by law, institution, and regulation, where public officials abusing their power for their private gain.
Now that we've explored how corruption is explained through social science theories, let's take a historical perspective. Corruption has existed throughout human history, and many civilizations developed their own ways to fight it, based on their values, beliefs, and system of governance. In ancient China, during the Qin dynasty, the ruling philosophy was legalism. Leaders believed in using strict laws and harsh punishments to control corruptions. Government officials who were found guilty of bribery or abuse of power were severely punished and sometimes even executed. This approach showed that corruption was seen as a serious threat to the stability of the state. The Roman Empire also recognized the dangers of corruption. They introduced laws like the Lex Julia de Repetidis, which punished governors who exploited their powers in the provinces. Public trials were used to hold officials accountable, and this helped build trust between the government and its own citizens. During the Islamic Golden Age, corruption was seen strongly discouraged in religious texts. Both the Quran and Hadith condemned bribery and dishonest leadership. The Islamic concept of zakat, or mandatory charity, promoted financial fairness, while institutions like the Baitul Mal were used to manage public funds transparently. In the colonial era, corruption often became part of the political system. Colonial power rewarded local elites for loyalty, even when they were corrupt. And after independence, many countries inherited these systems, making corruption harder to eliminate in modern times. This historical legacy continues to affect governance today. From legalist laws in China to Islamic moral codes and colonial manipulations, world civilization have influenced how we understand and respond to corruptions. This historical perspective shows us that corruption is not just a modern problem, but one that societies have tried to solve for centuries.
Today, corruption is not just a political issue, but it also has a big impact on the economy and society. One of the most well-known cases is the 1MDB scandal in Malaysia. According to Astra Awani 2024, the offender was charged with abusing his position to receive Rm 2.3 billion from 1MDB funds. This accident damaged Malaysia's image at the international level. According to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission 2023, Malaysia improved its ranking in the Corruption Perception Index (CPI), moving up 4 places from 61st to 57 out of 118 countries. The bar chart above show Malaysia's CPI performance in 2022 and 2023. In 2022, Malaysia was ranked 61 first. However, in 2023, the country improved to 57 place, an increase of 4 rank. The impact of corruption is serious. Economically, foreign investors lose confidence, development is disrupted, and the wealth gap widens. Socially, people lose trust in their leaders and wrongdoing become normalized. However, efforts such as the formation of MACC, Malaysia Anti-Corruption Commission, and anti-corruption education in school are steps toward a cleaner future and help prevent widespread corruption.
To sum up, corruption is not just a legal offense. It's a deep-rooted social issue that affects every layer of society. From abusing power for personal gain to weakening public trust and institutional integrity, corruption takes many forms and leaves lasting damage. We explored how different disciplines view corruption. Sociology highlights power imbalance and institutional breakdown. Anthropology shows how culture and norms influence how corruption is practiced and perceived. History reminds us that corruption has always existed, and societies have responded in different ways, from harsh laws to moral teachings. Real-world cases like Aman Shah's remind us that even small acts of dishonesty matter, and their impact can grow over time. The key takeaway: corruption doesn't only happen on a large political stage. It can begin in everyday choices and social environments, but just as it can spread, it can also be prevented. Through education, stronger institutions, cultural change, and accountability. As we have seen, understanding corruption through different lenses helps us fight it more effectively. So, let's just not be aware. Let's stay critical, speak up, and act with integrity. Thank you for watching our presentation.